Hey friends, welcome back to Minnesota Home and Garden. We definitely owe you a home tour. So we're going to do a quick home tour today. We have some things to harvest like our garlic today, our onions, and we have a special bonus announcement at the end. And we'll kind of go through and do a little bit of harvesting as we go. So let's start with the garlic. It's middle of July. As you can see, all the garlic is pretty much, it's been very hot here in Minnesota. We've had incredibly high heat. So this is a good time to harvest when it's not rainy. And these are dried out and they're ready to go. Usually I dig them out quite a bit before pulling them. And if you guys remember, we covered these with some chicken wire. So we had much more success this year than we did last year. We've already harvested a couple. They look like good sized garlics. And they're just going to be a mixed bag. Yes, we have some weeds in here as well. It's been a very hot, busy season. And as most of you know, I actually work full-time in real estate. That's why it's Minnesota Home and Garden. So let's get harvesting. Let's take a look at this garlic. And thanks dearly to our friend Tom, who's always helped us. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? And if you have seen our past videos, we'll cure this in our basement for a few weeks till it's completely dry. We'll actually leave it completely whole like this. We'll just lightly dust off the extra dirt. And when it's completely dry, we'll cut it to about here, and then we'll store it. And it'll store actually for like a year. We still have garlic from last year, so that's excellent. This is a nice bulb, check it out. If you've never grown garlic before, I recommend you check out some of my planting videos and give it a try. You plant garlic every year, hardneck in the north. We're just right outside of Minneapolis. And so you actually plant it in October, you do the garlic scapes in June, and then you harvest your garlic in July, which is now, which is perfect. And then this garden bed can be reused into something else. So it's kind of exciting. All right, can't wait to see how much we get today. Look at this. Beautiful, wonderful. That's a nice big one. Be very careful getting the dirt off. Sometimes I just use a dry towel to brush off the dirt. Be very careful. I think garlic, oh, we got a split here. That's okay. We'll still cure it. We'll still eat it. Willis probably won't store it nearly as well. Look at that. All garlic is good. So if you only get a couple smaller heads like that, that's okay. All garlic is good garlic. Wow, that's a good one. Look at this guy. Yes. All right. We had really strange weather this spring. It got up to 90 and then it got really cold really fast, and then it was very cold for a long time. So you just kind of have to give yourself grace, and every year is a different year because Mother Nature is always a part of the equation. And usually we do have to dig these up. It's been very dry, so I knew these would probably pull up easy, but you might want to always have like a spade with you just in case to dig them up. Look at this guy. Those are some big cloves. That's pretty exciting. That looks great. So these in the back corner didn't get nearly as much sun, but they formed complete heads. We're still gonna cure them and eat them just the same. Okay, let's check out the other garden bed. And also, I thought while we're here, here's our onion bed. Yes, there's weeds. As you see, a bunch of them are flapped over. When they're flapped over like this, they're done growing. And then if you keep watering, they have a risk of rotting, and you don't want that, and they won't cure as well. So there's only a couple that are still standing. So we're gonna go ahead and also harvest all these onions and start curing these as well. It's middle of July. We can use this bed for something else. Most of them are a good size. We had a really weird year. We kind of had a crop failure that came right about when we were planting the cold weather crops, and it just made transplanting really tough. So I got a couple of these from our great friend Pang at the farmer's market. We love her. She has a great farm stand and really good stuff, and we trust her. So we're gonna go ahead and start harvesting these today as well. It's gonna be a mixed bag of sizes and varieties, and that's okay. We're gonna cure them and eat them just as we did last year, and they're gonna be great. Not bad on this side. They're looking very good. Excellent. They're coming right up because they're pretty dry. And I can't wait to get planting something else. We'll probably do some carrots and beets. I might try some parsnips, even though it's kind of late in the season to do those. Yeah. We've had a naughty bunny out front that's been eating our carrot tops. Not a usual problem over here. So we might have to start over with our carrots. See any more?
Right in front.
Is that it? I think that's all of it. So here's our garlic for this year. If you want to get a close up there. Not a bad year. A lot better than last year. It just keeps getting better. And I'm excited to get some of these onions harvested, and I can't wait to get these planted again. And yeah, let's take a look at what else we got going on in the yard. Okay, welcome to our driveway garden. Every year we usually grow our heat-loving crops, so we've got a couple double rows of sweet potatoes, which have some volunteer tomatoes that we're just kind of letting go. As you can see, we've got some damage in here. They were doing really well when they were covered. They kind of outgrew the net we had on them, and a bunny's been coming in here. It's been very hot, it's been very dry, and that's when you're going to have the most pest damage because they're thirsty and they get a lot of their water actually from plants. Basis for the animals to kind of curb some of that damage. We've got a wonderful, and we're going to harvest this right now, Japanese eggplant that we got from our friend Christine. Thank you, Christine. These are just absolutely beautiful. We can't wait to try them. This is definitely the largest eggplant we have this year. It's already producing very well. Again, we're mid-July, so this is pretty early for these crops, so it's very exciting. We've got quite a few peppers back here, if you want to take a look. We've got some hot peppers in here, we've got some bell peppers in here, and we have our Korean peppers for our kimchi, and of course, paprika. We've got a couple cherry tomatoes and slicers in here. And then as you can see in the backdrop here, we just finished picking the last of our raspberries, so our season's just coming to an end. And take a look here, our grapes are saturated, totally saturated. This is going to be another massive year of grapes. We've got grapes all along the fence line on both sides and all the way around to the pool. If you want to come back here, welcome to our backyard garden. Some pineapple and herbs and rosemary. We've got a replacement peach tree. We've got this wonderful brassica bed. We're done with our bok choy for the year, but we've got kale and cabbage. It's just starting to be ready right now, so that's in season and ready to go. Back here we've got bush beans, cucumbers and squash and eggplant. We've got some tomatoes, asparagus and strawberries, and then we've got another brassica bed back here, and we've just let our dill go wild. We had this covered with the same netting we had over there, but as you can see, we're desperate to weed it, and all of our broccoli are starting to look like this. When they start to form heads like this and they're no longer tight, that means they're close to flowering, and that's when you have to harvest them. We were hoping they'd get bigger, but we're gonna get offshoots. When we harvest the cauliflower in the next bed over, I might replant with some fall broccoli. But look at our amazing dill. This grew as a volunteer from last year, so we're gonna definitely make some really good pickles. We've got our nice pollinator garden here with some beautiful lilies that smell so good, and we've got our stackables, and we've got some grapes that are doing excellent, which is fun. I had a pretty decent harvest of asparagus, and we've also got some strawberries and squash in here, so we've been enjoying that. Our corn is looking excellent this year. As you can see, it's very tall. This is incredible sweet corn if you want to get close in here. And as you know, for years now, I've been kind of practicing a Three Sisters garden. So we've got squash in each corner, and we've got beans on the edges to kind of curl up. We've got lots of tomatoes in here. They're actually doing so well this year. We had a critter that was eating the tops of them, but as you can see, they've bounced back. They're green and they're looking really good despite all the heat. I actually think they like it. We've got our trusty herb garden here where we've got some perennials and seasonal herbs, lots of basil. It's doing excellent. We'll make a lot of pesto. We've got lots of Thai basil. We've got lemon balm, many types of mint, cilantro, lavage, some additional tomatoes. We got a stackable of cilantro there and some beets on top. We got a hanging basket, so we need to weed desperately of strawberries. Our lettuce buckets did not care for the heat, so we cut those back. We might have to reseed. And as you guys know, year after year, the squirrels like to punk us and they like to plant squash. Well, they've got a couple very heavy squash in this bed already. And as you can see, again, like last year, our cut flower garden has been taken over by their plantings. We've estimating 12 to 15 vines from the squirrels, and they're very aggressive. But you know what? We've decided to make the most of it, and I'll show you in here. We've already got one pumpkin that looks quite large, kind of tucked away here. I don't know if you can get the camera in. There it is. Pretty large considering it's only July, so I think it's going to be a good year. So we've got our huge potato garden here just like last year, and if you guys remember, it was our biggest harvest yet. So I'm hoping that this year we do even better. We've got some cabbage, we've got cauliflower in the edges here, and then we've got bush beans on the end, and we've got some melons on this side as well, so we'll see how those do. We've got a nice cherry tomato garden over here and some tomatillos. We love those. We make salsa with them. We also make some really good soup with them as well. They really just keep producing, and they kind of volunteer every year. Here's our apricot tree. Really healthy, doing excellent. But we had a really hard freeze after the middle of May, and so unfortunately our apricots and cherries and pear experienced freeze damage, so they will not be producing fruit this year, which is unfortunate. But that's what happens when you live in the north, and every year is different. We've got some sauce tomatoes along the edge here, so we're going to continue that. Blight doesn't seem to be as bad this year, but as you can see right here, it's still present and something that we're working on and trying to keep under control. The only organic method is copper fungicide, but you're welcome to use whatever you think is right for you. We've got some zinnias again this year, and this year we added 2 blueberry plants, and you can't see them, but there's 2 lingonberries in here. So that's an exciting addition, as well as our lettuce containers and then some carrots on top. I'd love to bring you up front so you can see our garden up front. Welcome to our side garden here, where we finally got a goji berry to produce this year, and we actually got a pretty good harvest of our honeyberries. Now those are very early season fruit, and these are finally bouncing back after some serious bunny damage a few winters ago. As you can see, we have a lot of weeding to do. We're a little bit behind this year. Another volunteer squash, and we'll come up front. Here we've got a nice rhubarb bed that we're working on kind of getting it rebounded. We've got a nice patio garden here. We've always done some extra basil, peppers, and tomatoes, and they're all doing really excellent. Our early girl, we've already harvested a little bit. We've got a nice cherry tomato here. Everything's doing really well. We got to cut our herbs down to keep them happy. The more you cut your herbs, the happier they're going to be, and the bigger harvest you're going to get. Out front here, we've got some really awesome cherry tomatoes this year. As you can see, they are huge. They're doing really well. They're loving this heat. As you can see, there's some mouse traps here. We had a critter come up and eat all of our carrot tops. So we're trying to use some mouse traps just to kind of scare them away, not really hurt them. As you can see from behind, I've got a Honeycrisp apple right here. It is saturated in fruit this year, very heavy in fruit. We're definitely dealing with our squirrel issue again this year. And then we've got a beautiful 4-in-1 apple tree there. As you can see, those apples are absolutely beautiful this year. That's our Liberty apple, very cold, hardy, and excellent in the north. We've got some nice flower pots here. And this is kind of new this year, and I know it's been extremely hot, and so these are struggling just a little bit. We've got 3 sauce tomatoes here. We've got Abe Lincoln, Mortgage Lifter, and Beefsteak. And we just decided to do them in buckets this year, and I think they're really doing excellent. It's been a fun little experiment. And we've got our Egyptian walking onions here. In the back, 2 potato bags. We decided to do peanuts this year. That's new here. So we're very excited for hopefully a peanut harvest at the end of the season. They've already been flowering and producing. So hopefully that works out great. We've got a wonderful white mulberry. It produced very heavily this year. It was maybe our heaviest year thus far. So we have quite a few bags in our freezer, and we were able to share with our neighbors, which we love. Out front here, this is our first ever blackberry harvest. They're not quite ready yet. Blackberries will be ready towards the end, I think, of August, later mid-August. So we've got some time for that, but we got 3 blackberry plants, and they are producing this year, and that's very exciting. Hopefully just year after year we get more. We've got a couple pumpkin vines here we're excited about. These are ones we actually planted ourselves. As you can see, if you wanted to take a look, this is my favorite part of the garden every year is these raised beds. They're so easy to harvest from, and this beautiful trellis. I just love looking at all of the amazing beans you can pull off here. It produces natural shade in the garden, so I can enjoy it out here. It's relaxing. We've got oodles of tomatoes. We've got pickling cucumbers that are just starting to become ready. So we're starting to collect those. We're collecting bush beans as well. The pole beans are coming. As you can see, they're just babies right now. But once the heat comes in July, they'll start growing fast, and you'll start getting buckets, and it'll be time to start canning. And we've got some nice squash here as well. We've got a nice spaghetti squash. It's doing quite well. I do love spaghetti squash. So just a reminder, if you live in the north and you've got a 40-foot lot, you can grow a lot of food with perennials and annuals. And we hope that you enjoy watching our channel and you give it a try. We hope to see you soon. And I almost forgot to tell you, this is our exciting announcement. We bought this online and Pat put it together today, and this will be our farm stand. This is gonna be our first year. I've had a cottage license for years now. I've been talking about this. My community has been asking me for it. And so once a week out front, stay tuned for information on our Instagram page, Minnesota Home and Garden. Follow us there, and we're gonna have a weekly marketplace where I'll have breads, jams, pickles, and fresh produce from the garden. I can't wait to see you there. Thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for supporting.